Hey guys, what's up? This is Adam from GeekRest.com on the 7th day comic book news recap video. And I'm with Aaron Holland.
Hi, I'm Aaron from The Comic Show.
As always. And this is the weekly recap of last week's highlights and all that jazz. We're actually on location. We're not in the shop.
No, this isn't a comic shop.
We're in someone's home.
This is a comic home.
It's a comic home. A comic home. And so a couple of things that came out last week. Big things. Gary Friedrich, probably one of the most noteworthy things in terms of Marvel. This guy is the co-creator, although sometimes he bills himself as the sole creator, which was a controversy, and it's a little bit.
That happens sometimes.
It happens
with
when you're selling prints. You tend to, whatever. He filed a lawsuit with Marvel several years ago. Saying that they owed him a lot of money. He filed it actually in 2007 when the Ghost Rider movie came out. The property started to get big. He said,
Nicolas Cage,
he blew it up. He blew something. He claimed that he had the rights to a lot of the properties or a lot of the licensing rights that came out of the movie, the character in general. Marvel said, no, it's our rights, blah, blah, blah. He basically lost. Marvel said, Marvel's got the rights.
Right.
And
so
then
it was work for hire, all that.
On top of that, Marvel said, you don't have the right to sell all these prints you've been selling.
Yeah, that's a little vindictive.
Vindictive.
And that would set a selective enforcement because they turn a blind eye to all these other creators that do that.
Yeah.
Ones that don't even work for them.
Right.
Have never worked for them, never had a relationship with Marvel.
So they got $17,000 out of Gary.
That's ridiculous.
Which was a big kind of slap. I mean, it's one thing to say you don't have the rights and, you get nothing. It's another thing on top to counter, his lawsuit and say you owe us money. Employers rarely take money from their employees.
Right.
Rarely.
And the big question is, who's getting royalties from all those Ghost Rider tattoos that people get?
Those ridiculous. Nick Cage has like 5 of them.
All right.
But now...
Why are we talking about it now?
Now it's been overturned. They're saying now there's a legitimate case here, and instead of Marvel just, countering or settling, they're taking it to court. They said, we're going to take you to court.
With a jury.
With a jury.
Well,
now, this is interesting because now it's more public opinion that's going to decide the case, which could set a dangerous precedent for Marvel.
Right.
Because how many characters are out there where creators can be like, oh, what do I get? I gotta get a little
something.
Like,
what's the win for them? They can either look like win big and seem like total douches that modern creators may be much more wary to bring new creations to them or to get everything in writing when they do anything, specifically, or they lose and open the floodgates for every other creator from the 70s on to claim ownership of these characters they created. So
it was a tricky gray area in the beginning, but the real issue that the whole reason why they're overturning it right now is because when Marvel filed the trademark, they were Magazine Entertainment, or there was some
technicality.
Some technicality, and it was supposed to expire after 50 years or 40 years. Mm-hmm. And Frederick was claiming that they didn't renew it, that around the time of 2007, those rights actually went back to him. Marvel says that's not true, I guess because we wrote, paychecks or whatever, that's proof enough that it's all legal,
They should have settled. I think where they go over and above and try to penalize him, it's, the right judge is going to overturn that, you know, because it looks like, the right Ghost Rider fan judge or what. We don't know the story, but that just looks horrible. That looks like some kind of like David and Goliath thing where, Goliath decided to just, pee on him afterwards.
That's true.
I love Marvel Comics, love the characters, but come on,
I love Marvel Comics too, but they now have the biggest pockets in the world with Disney owning them, so they could have this thing in court for years. They can outlast him.
Oh, you mean like the Superman thing?
The Superman thing.
Yeah, but to me, how I feel about Ghost Rider. He's essentially just aesthetics. Like, people like the look of Ghost Rider. They want it on tattoos. They want it on, the wall of their biker bar. Yeah. They want it on the back of their biker jacket. They like the aesthetic of, this skeleton on a flaming motorcycle with a flaming head, but as far as like, I just can't really get excited about Ghost Rider anyway. You know,
I was really excited about it when I was 12, but why can't they make them work?
I don't know. I mean, Jason Aaron's run was okay. I mean, I liked it, but I don't know.
Visually, it was cool. But...
I think I'd be much more heated if it was something like Guy Gardner, the rights to Guy Gardner, or something like. No!
Oh my God! Yeah, wait till that.
He's not just a knockoff of Hal Jordan, who's a knockoff of Alan Scott. He's Guy freaking Gardner. So I'm not really getting that animated about Ghost Rider, even though the principle of the matter is Marvel should settle something amicably and respectfully with a creator.
Yeah, and regardless how you feel about Ghost Rider, the precedent is what people are going to be watching for. You know, it's like, this is big. This could be big for a lot of creators who,
it
would like
should
an
be
extra
big
dime.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
However it gets settled, it should be.
Yeah, so keep an eye out on that. And a huge announcement that came out last week was the merger or acquisition/merger, Boom acquiring Archaia Comics.
Right. Because Boom's a much better name. It's like Boom.
Boom!
Like
with a
I
big
am
exclamation
Boom.
point.
Like
all capitals.
Yes. Whereas Archaia, there's like so many A-name weirdness publishers, and they were great publishers. I love them, but like I've heard people mispronounce it plenty of times, like Archaia, Archaia.
I just know it as where Sam Humphries did, Fraggle Rock or Sesame. What did he do?
Yeah, Fraggle Rock.
Jim Henson stuff.
Yeah, they had a lot of good Jim Henson stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, but a lot of good original graphic novels, original hardcovers.
Yes.
Beautifully done, winning awards, all kinds of great stuff. I love them.
And apparently Boom has been doing much better than everyone thought because they have a lot of money to acquire this label. But the thing is, I mean, this is the new merger. It caught a lot of people by surprise, and I think it's genius. I think Archaia, they have a lot of licenses, like you said, like Jim Henson, and they do a lot of original graphic novel stuff. They're a lot more on the creator-owned plane, I would say, than Boom. Boom is good too, but they have more of a half and half relationship with their creators.
And their licensing stuff is doing so well with
so much.
Adventure Time and all that, all those properties, and then regular show, and somehow all the Cartoon Network stuff that DC should have, because it's Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers. DC did publish Powerpuff Girls back in the day,
and
now Boom is republishing, not only doing new stuff, but putting out trades of the previously published DC stuff. That's ridiculous, but
it kind of poised them to become a real, like a solid powerhouse publisher. And it could, I mean, it takes them that much closer to Image. And it's just...
And the thing with the money situation with Archaia, I don't know if they spelled it out so much, about distributor this or that, but when you think about it, there's like this huge amount of cash flow just tied up in all these long-form original graphic novels that don't make money until these creators are done with like hundreds of pages all at once, whereas Boom has this 30-day turnaround, cash in, cash out, this money flow, this cash flow of monthly periodical comics. So it looks like a good marriage, really, because I love those original hardcovers, and they do really well in the book market. Obviously, periodicals don't do anything in the book market, but to not have that cash flow tied up so much in these, and to have Boom doing what they do, it's a great thing.
And Archaia was struggling like hard for the past. What didn't they switch?
Not creatively, but
not creatively, but getting their distribution out there, because they switched from Diamond to PGW in the past year, and they said that they're a great distributor, but it hurt them. Something slipped up. There was a lot of, and for like several months, at least 3, they weren't on time, or they hit, and it was right after they got like Eisner awards or Eisner nominees for some of their titles. Right after that, they dropped the ball when they switched distributors, so they lost a lot of money. And so Boom comes in, sweeps them up, and I guess now Archaia is going to be somewhat of an imprint of Boom. It's still smart as hell, which keeps their imprint more creator-owned stuff.
And see, I didn't hear about any like rumors, scuttlebutt about this. What I heard about was the possible imminent merger of IDW and Dark Horse. That's what I heard, and I heard there was plans that, not from Dark Horse themselves. Yes, I talk to Dark Horse people all the time, at cons and whatnot. No, not from their mouths. No. From other sources. That's what I heard it from. And I didn't go to verify it because I don't really care. I mean, it'll happen or it won't happen. But I heard that with the questionability of the time clock of Marvel doing Star Wars, of Star Wars, Disney saying, no, we're going to have Marvel do Star Wars. They're not unhappy with Dark Horse at all, but they own Marvel. Why not do it in-house? And Marvel used to publish Star Wars. That if that happened, it would be such a big hit that there's already this contingency plan in place to merge IDW and Dark Horse.
Right.
That was what I heard. And someone could have just had a really great idea and wanted to pass it around like a rumor. I don't know.
Or it could become truth within the year. And
Star Wars would really hurt them. Because if you go on their website and it has like, you're looking up their backlist by, the alphabet. Yeah. And it has like the alphabet like A, B, C, D. And then for S, it has like S, Star Wars. And then the letter S after Star Wars. Like, there's like that becomes like the 27th letter of the alphabet. It's like Star Wars. Like, seriously. It's that much stuff. But.
So, that's just something really to be excited for, to look for. I think that they're going to kind of change the game a little bit because, I mean, DC and Marvel, they relaunched like No Marvel Now titles, and those are their big attempts at changing or modernizing. But when two companies like this come together, they really have an opportunity to change their either distribution or just their whole system, their whole business plan.
It's dynamic.
Yeah. With in terms of both digital and print, so that's exciting to look for. And finally,
what's that?
Marvel. We kind of glossed over this last week, but Marvel and Disney, they slipped out these 3 release dates: 2 in 2016 in May, and 1 in June, I believe it is, 2017 for unnamed films. They announced 3 new films without announcing anything.
Well, basically, they always are going to have something for that first weekend in May, the Free Comic Book Day weekend.
Oh yeah,
they've made it.
That's the money month.
That they put their stamp on that. That's their weekend.
Yeah.
So whether they put the actual movie is going to be or not, maybe they don't even know. But they're going to get that weekend. It's going to be one of their characters.
Yeah. So everyone's speculating. It's the Phase 3 of the Marvel Universe. What they got going? The guy who's been on everyone's tongue for the last several months is Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Of course. And even Kevin Feige confirmed it.
Yeah.
He's going to be part of it. So chances are that's going to be one of the films. How can you not be excited for that? Let's hope it's not. I mean, when they announced that Mandarin was going to be in Iron Man 3, I was just like, oh, the mysticism. It's coming. The
this
rings
is going to be
mysticism.
This is going to be that part of the universe that's going to work there.
Doctor Strange is
hopefully it's not going to be the Defenders, with Hulk and Doctor Strange. And
no.
Well, I guess they can't do cool. Silver Surfer because...
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Asked out. And then these 2 other movies that you don't know what they're going to be. It could be Captain America 3 for all we know.
Right.
Could be a new Hulk movie. Who knows?
The rumors are that it's not going to be a remake of Daredevil. It's not going to be a remake of anything that they've acquired back into their wheelhouse.
Ghost Rider.
They're going to let that. They're going to let that kind of let the court cases work.
Let the court cases, and then we'll figure out who to put in the fold.
So that's why we're not just saying like, oh, they're going to do Daredevil right now, because they've given us indication verbally that that's not what they're going to do.
Yeah. So who knows what we're going to be doing, what they're going to be seeing, but it's just kind of exciting to know that they've already had the dates set.
Right.
I am opting for the Runaways.
That would be cool.
I think that would be cool. Because we're seeing a lot of adult heroes, and the Runaways teenage team. They take gambles. Marvel takes Guardians of the Galaxy. Throwing out there.
That's gonna be great. I'm excited about
just
that.
Just some wild card things, and it feels like with all these movies coming out, maybe they can throw in another wild card.
Right.
That'd be a good one.
What some people are saying is like Black Panther, and it's like that's been said forever.
It's been so long now.
Blade and all that.
Right.
That was on the table.
Right.
But who knows?
Who knows? But that's just some of the stuff to be excited for. A lot of stuff to look forward to, wondering what's coming. Boom, Archaia, Gary, and these movies. Everything's up in the air, kind of. You don't know it's exciting.
Yay, Marvel!
Yay, Marvel! And that's pretty much it as far as a small weekly recap. We're on location, so it's it's a little bit of a different format here. I feel a little strange. Actually.
Yeah, it's odd.
It's a little awkward, but.
But my bedroom's right over there.
I was going to say your bathroom's right over there.
All right, cool.
I want to hit it up.
We can play it by rear.
Dude, you didn't mean that. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week in a comic shop next to the Geek Easy, where we're now drinking beers on a regular basis.
Yes.
Come on now. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.